Chandamama Mahabharata, Part 17. Arjuna's Pilgrimages. Having made the city of Indraprastha, constructed by Vishwakarma, their capital, the Pandavas began to rule their half of the kingdom righteously. The kingdom flourished and developed day by day. At this time, the sage Narada arrived unexpectedly with the desire to visit Dharmaraja. Dharmaraja went forward along with his younger brothers to receive him, brought Narada inside, offered him a worthy seat along with ritual offerings of Arghya and Padya, and prostrated fully before him. Draupadi also came from the inner chambers, offered her salutations to Narada, and stood nearby. Narada blessed her and sent her away, and then, while Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev were listening, addressed Dharmaraja, saying, "All five of you share a single wife. To ensure that no discord arises among you because of her, and that mutual goodwill continues to grow between you, it is necessary to establish some rule. In matters of this nature, it is common for even the closest of individuals to develop enmity," and so saying, he narrated the story of Sanda and Upsunda. In the lineage of Hiranyakashipu, a demon named Nikumbha was born. His sons were Sanda and Upsunda. They never separated from each other even for a single moment, always wandered together, and lived with immense mutual affection. A desire to conquer the three worlds arose in their minds. Wishing to acquire ascetic power for that purpose, they reached a desolate forest in the Vindhya region and began severe penance there. Due to the intense heat generated by that penance, fire broke out within the caves of the Vindhyas, and great flames and smoke rose throughout the entire forest. Seeing their penance, the gods became terrified, and wishing to disturb their penance, created an illusion before Sanda and Upsunda showing heaps of jewels and women. However, Sanda and Upsunda did not waver. Thereafter, the gods created another illusion. As a result of that, it appeared before Sanda and Upsunda that their mothers, wives, and sons were being tormented by some demons, and that they were crying out to Sanda and Upsunda for protection. Even to that, Sanda and Upsunda did not succumb. Then, Brahma manifested before them and granted them as boons all kinds of mystical powers, divine weapons, incomparable strength and valor, and the power to conquer the three worlds. They also requested immortality, but Brahma did not agree to that. In its place, he granted a boon that they should face death at the hands of no other being. Since the thought that they would kill each other could never even occur to them, they believed that they had indeed attained immortality. Having obtained boons in this manner, Sanda and Upsunda gathered armies, went to the realm of Indra and conquered it, then proceeded to the netherworld and conquered it as well, and finally began to cause terrible devastation on earth. Then, Brahma summoned Vishwakarma and had him create a celestial beauty of the three worlds named Tilottama, and sent her to the place where Sanda and Upsunda resided. Seeing her gathering flowers on a riverbank, both Sanda and Upsunda became infatuated with her, and grasping both her hands, one hand each, they decided to make her their wife. When they asked, "Which of us will you choose as your husband?" Tilottama replied, "I shall wed whoever among you two is the stronger." To determine who possessed greater strength, they both fought a make battle and killed each other. Narada narrated this story of Sanda and Upsunda to the Pandavas and said, "Establish a certain rule so that such enmity does not arise among you. I am telling you all this solely for your own welfare." Then, the Pandavas established a rule, keeping Narada as their witness. According to that rule, Draupadi would reside with each husband for 1 year at a time. Whichever brother's house she was residing in, none of the other brothers should enter that residence. If anyone happened to violate this rule, they would have to undergo exile in the forest for 12 months, observing celibacy, and perform pilgrimages to sacred places. Narada rejoiced at this rule they had formed and said, "If such an arrangement is maintained, no one will be able to create divisions among you, and you will live happily." And having spoken thus, he departed. In accordance with the rule, Draupadi resided in the house of one husband each year. Time continued to pass. One day, Arjuna observed a Brahman standing outside the residence of Dharmaraja, lamenting. Arjuna approached him and asked, "Respected sir, why are you weeping?" That Brahman replied in deep sorrow, "My son, despite living under the protection of righteous rulers like you, thieves have driven away my sacrificial cows. No matter how loudly I cry out, there is no one visible to heed my grief. With the loss of my cows, my sacred duties have come to a halt. Please restore them to me out of compassion. I shall restore your cows to you, tarry here. Come with me to point out the direction in which the thieves have fled. Saying thus, Arjuna entered the residence of Dharmaraja to retrieve his bow and arrows. But immediately, Arjuna remembered their rule. Draupadi was currently residing with Dharmaraja as his wife. Under such circumstances, if he entered their residence, it would result in a breach of the rule. If he delayed retrieving his weapons out of fear of breaking the rule, it would result in a failure of duty. Reflecting that while a breach of the rule could be dealt with by undergoing punishment, a failure of duty must never be permitted, Arjuna entered the chamber where Dharmaraja and Draupadi were in private. With the permission of Dharmaraja, he took his bow and arrows, accompanied the Brahman, fought and defeated the thieves, and restored the plundered cows to the Brahman. Arjuna returned home, received the praise of the elders, offered his salutations to them, and approaching Dharmaraja, said, "Since I violated the rule and entered the chamber where you and Draupadi were present, I shall undergo forest exile and pilgrimages for the duration of 1 year. Kindly grant me leave." Hearing these words, Dharmaraja felt deeply grieved and said, "Arjuna, it is no transgression for younger brothers to enter a place where elders are in private with their wives. Moreover, your entry was necessitated by the urgent need of that Brahman. Since it brought about a righteous outcome, it cannot be considered a wrongful act. If you hold my words in any regard, abandon this thought of pilgrimage." To that, Arjuna replied, "If another commits a wrong, we inflict punishment. If we ourselves commit a transgression and evade the penalty by offering some pretext, it is improper conduct. Do not restrain me. I have firmly resolved to set out on my pilgrimage." Dharmaraja had no choice but to acquiesce. Arjuna arranged his hair and attire in a manner suitable for forest life and departed for the wilderness. He was accompanied by numerous Brahmins and Puranikas who recited sacred legends. Journeying together with all of them, Arjuna visited numerous sacred places and, after some time, reached Gangadwara. There, numerous sages were bathing in the Ganges, worshipping the fire and offering oblations into it. Seeing this, Arjuna experienced great joy, and deciding that he too would bathe and offer oblations for the gods and ancestors into the fire, he stepped into the river to bathe. At that moment, a Naga princess named Ulupi, seeing Arjuna's beauty, became captivated by him. She seized him within the water itself, dragged him beneath the waves down to the realm of the Nagas, and brought him into a magnificent palace. Arjuna looked at her and asked, "What is the meaning of this audacious act? Who are you? Whose daughter are you? What realm is this?" "My lord, I am the daughter of the Naga king named Kauravya, belonging to the Airavata lineage among the Nagas. My name is Ulupi. Beholding you, who resemble the god of love, I was overcome with passion, and through the powers possessed by us Nagas, I have brought you here. Fulfill my desire and bless me with offspring," said Ulupi. "Listen, Ulupi, due to specific circumstances, I am observing celibacy and spending my time in pilgrimages. Your asking me to violate my vow is unrighteous. Whatever your words may be, a grave sin will attach to me," said Arjuna. But Ulupi refused to accept his words and said, "The rule formed by you brothers regarding Draupadi is not unknown to me. Nevertheless, it is of no avail for you to plead your vow of celibacy. If you do not fulfill my desire, I shall perish, consumed by the torment of love. That sin will attach to you. There is no greater merit than saving a life. Grant me assurance of safety." So saying, she clasped the feet of Arjuna firmly. Arjuna reflected carefully upon the situation and resolved to fulfill the desire of Ulupi. He spent that night with her. The following morning, Ulupi accompanied him to guide the way and brought him to Gangadwara. She granted him a boon that he would face no danger from any aquatic creature and returned to her abode. She became pregnant by Arjuna and, after some time, gave birth to a son named Iravan. Leaving Gangadwara, Arjuna visited numerous sacred places, bathing in various rivers, and in the 13th month of his departure, reached the city of Manipura. The ruler of that city was Chitravahana. He had a daughter named Chitrangada. The moment he saw her, Arjuna became deeply attracted to her. He requested her father to give Chitrangada to him in marriage. To that, Chitravahana replied, "What greater fortune could I desire than this? However, one condition must be stated. In our lineage, only a single male heir is born in each generation. But to me, a daughter has been born. Therefore, the son born to her will be raised by me as my own son. If you have no objection to this, I shall bestow my daughter upon you in marriage immediately." Arjuna agreed to the condition, wedded Chitrangada, spent 3 nights with her, and reached the shore of the southern ocean along with the assembly of Brahmins accompanying him. Chandamama Mahabharata, Part 17 is complete. For now, Swasti.